What's up, guys? ZFarls here for a special edition of Madden TV Thanksgiving week, which means I'm hosting. As you guys know, S. Gibbs is still lost and not here due to the lack of a good map app on his iPhone 5.
That's not true.
He's actually here. He just showed up, though. But anyway, I'm here to take you through the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to give you a man beater today. It's a Monday. Hope you don't have a case of the Mondays. A little note here for the families out there. I used to live at home after college for a year there. So when my brothers came home for Thanksgiving, I wasn't that excited because I was just at home. I didn't have to go anywhere. So I was like, oh, it's just another day for me because I'm home. But now that I live out on my own in the wild, as they say, now that I get to go home and have somebody else cook for me and eat desserts and do nothing but watch football, possibly bring the Xbox home, is much more enjoyable. Now I get to see all the hard work that went into it. Before I was there, I didn't have to travel, so I was kind of like, oh yeah, I'm just going to wake up and eat turkey. But now I actually have to go home, which is exciting. And even though my room has been turned the color pink and new bedspread and everything, there's nothing in there.
It's pink?
Yeah, my mom went ham on my room. So it's kind of depressing, but it's nice to go home and see your family and stuff like that. So don't take that for granted on Thanksgiving. And other than that, my high school football team is playing Thanksgiving Day game, which is a huge thing in Massachusetts, probably other places too, but every team plays on Thanksgiving against their biggest rival. We're 9-1, I believe. We only had one loss all year. Last week was basically the Super Bowl. We took on a local town called Walpole from Natick, and we beat them. So as long as we win against Framingham, who's our rival, who's not great, but they do give us some trouble, we're going to the Super Bowl, which will be at Foxborough. We got a quarterback, Troy Flutie, who is Doug's nephew, his older brother, Darren, the son who played in the CFL. They run a mean spread attack. I guess they do a lot of throwing the ball. They do a lot of up at the line, look over type of play calling system, which is super cool. So I want to go and watch that. Seen Oregon, now I'm going to go see Natick. I'm sure it'll be a little bit slower, but it's just cool that they run a real cool attack. I know 2 years ago, they went to the Super Bowl. They had a quarterback who plays at UConn, Scott McCummings, and they ran an option attack. But now it's still option, but it's just a little bit different. But Troy's racking up yards in the offense. So I'm probably going to go see that on Thursday morning. And we're doing Twim on Wednesday night. So hang out with your friends and get to see everybody, and that's exciting. But now time for a man beater. I got a cornucopia of man beaters, one might say, from the Saints playbook. But what I really like is the empty tray formation. Saints, have plenty of weapons and the accuracy of a Drew Brees. What I'd like to say about this package here is with the Saints, so if you go to the playbook, you have the ability with the empty tray to use packages, which package HB2 flanker, I believe that the game assumes you're going to keep Darren Sproles at the number 2 halfback, so this would actually probably put him out to the right, which would be useful. But since we sub him in, it's going to be a different back, so we don't want to use that one. You could also put your main halfback in the right slot, which is put Pierre Thomas there. Depending on where you have, that would be if you're using Sproles in that situation where you'd want him. You can put a left tackle, strong slot in the left tackle. So we're checking out that one. Let's see what that one does there. Okay, so that switches up where your receivers go. Flip the wide receivers, sticking a backup quarterback. Chase Daniel doesn't have too much speed, or just use regular HB slot package. You could also just sub in Darren Sproles. That's what I'll recommend for now. But if you want to get him in a certain spot, you could get him at any of these positions and not have to risk screwing up a sub. So I'm going to say take out Lance Moore for right now, but then we're going to go sub in Lance Moore where Roby is. And that'll be pretty nice. So let's get into the game here and see what we have with the empty tray formation. There's a screen in here, but we don't really love it. Saints switch is a good little play that I'll give you as an extra little bonus. Curl flats is in here, but of course stick and nod, especially for PS3 guys. You want to make sure that you flip this play using the R2 button or R trigger on Xbox, and you're going to call that, and then just go with the dime. 2-man under, man beater defense here. So on PS3, obviously Darren Sproles unable to be pressed over on the left side of the screen. You got Jimmy Graham. And what's cool about this is it's kind of got its own beating style concept of depth route. So as we're going to run this play to the left here, you're going to see Jimmy Graham's going to get out in front, and then Darren Sproles is kind of going to come underneath him. And this would be great for beating a zone-style defense because of the levels that these guys run at. So here you see two guys running kind of like, 10 or 15 yards apart. You can kind of work across the middle or work up in the seam. So, that's going to be vulnerable to cover 2 where Graham is against zone. But what's great about both these routes is that they both are going to beat man-to-man coverage. So now you have, if a guy is usering the area over the middle of the field and they're playing man-to-man, you now have the ability to beat man-to-man with both these routes. You don't have to worry about that. And then you have the ability still, if they have a zone defender, are they going to go short and cover Sproles, or are they going to leave the big open gain? Because, yes, Graham downfield is going to be a big gain, so they might defend that. But Sproles underneath, if he gets separation, look at all this space here. He's getting up to that 10-yard line. So obviously on Xbox, you got to maybe have to do a little work to get Sproles open. S. Gibbs recommends a 1-step. Now, you got to get this timing down. It's not a baby step. What you really want him to do is delay. So that, and you got to work the timing. Here Sproles picks it up, gets about 15 yards. But you want to work on this timing to free him up and see what the most effective way is to get, there it is, to get that. And this is the one where we're going to get up by the 10-yard line with Darren Sproles. So the more we look at this play, we think, well, what else can we do? Well, we have Lance Moore on the right here. We could put him on a fade. We could motion him in. You don't want to get him bad throw there, but we still complete the pass. You want to bullet pass that in with an inside pass lead. We'll do that one more time, but it worked out for us. You don't want to clog up the area where Graham and Sproles are trying to do work with Lance Moore, but you do want to grab some attention by motioning him and see if you can get an inside release, Like, look how badly that guy just got burnt. So now you have 3 different man beaters on this play. Once again, this key concept is something that I stopped doing time and time again. I used to use it every play. And it still works. It's still very effective and has to be user, but I just feel like people know I'm going to do it, so don't forget about it. Here we go. You just put him on a fade, motion him in a couple steps. He gets the inside beat, and then you throw an inside pass lead with the left stick towards the middle of the field, a nice bullet pass, and he's got 6-7 yards in his defender. Maybe then Graham can then pick up a block. But my only concern is that if you don't throw it to Moore, if you don't throw it to Lance Moore right here, they might be able to drop back, and if you do throw it to Graham, they might be able to use his defender against them. So they might be able to cover 2 routes with 1 guy. So you got to be really careful. Last thing you can do is they have a nice play that I really like from, it's the quick audible to the right. There's a little Thanksgiving bonus, a little pumpkin pie man beater special. And what I would do with this play is the Jimmy Graham route. It's going to take a long time to develop, but it's really going to beat the guy back inside. So as we take a snap here, we see Graham cuts back upfield, throw an inside pass lead, you pick up yards. So that's something that is really nice to have if they're kind of guarding the middle of the field, because it's going to send them out towards the sideline first, and they're going to kind of have to make an adjustment. And then if they take the safety and they run over and try and grab Graham, Sproles on the post route over the middle of the field, if he can get some separation with a speed advantage. Last thing you can do with this formation is on PS3, you don't necessarily need to motion Devery Henderson here on the outside left, but if it was on the right side or you're playing on Xbox, motion Henderson in. He's off the line of scrimmage. I like to snap him right. You don't obviously don't want to make sure that he gets in the way of Darren Sproles, but so that actually kind of freed up Sproles without having to motion him. But you can kind of just motion him 1 step. And what you're really trying to do is get an inside. On PS3 that you're going to get inside anyway. But on Xbox, it's way better to the right. Let me flip this and show you. I had success with it earlier. So maybe a bigger guy like Colston as well.
No. You motion Graham over. That's what it was. The outside, right?
No, different play. I'm thinking with this, Colston's already on this nice fade here.
Right.
And here, see how we get inside? And what's cool about this is it actually almost turns into a streak. With most fades, they pause and then they take that sharp cut. But this is what I've been getting with this route pretty consistently, is at the snap, right here, they usually, when they're on a fade, they do another cut. But he's just on a straight streak, and then you get inside. So that's the last part of this play that I like. The other thing Gibbs was talking about here was this, just motion Graham over, and now it's kind of like a backwards route. The only problem is then you just got to make sure that you clear out everything else. But you know, that guy's not covering Jimmy Graham to the outside with an outside pass lead. So great formation, nice empty set. Two great players. Work your Darren Sproles. You know, those outside routes are mostly decoys, but like I said, you know, don't forget about Devery Henderson and Colston with some fades. And also, what I would say is you want to put an out to the outside anytime. So you always want to have this guy on the line of scrimmage, Colston, on and out. And basically you're just going to let him fight. And he's always there as like that 3 seconds into the play if things are kind of going weird. You take a quick look and see if he's open. So here we're looking, oh, it's kind of weird. Oh, okay, oh, no, I know I have that out. And you know Drew Brees and Colston are going to continually be able to hook up and make a big throws downfield. So the reason we put that guy is obviously you can't motion him because this guy over here is on the line of scrimmage. So that's why we use him on the out rather than Henderson, who we always kind of want to have on that fade. So we could always kind of just see what we're going to get, you know. Try and get the ball downfield and just see what happens. So this is a great formation from the Saints, and feel free to use it and let us know how it works for you. Work those inside pass leads. You got to take advantage of the size of a Graham and the size of a Drew Brees, ability to throw the ball downfield, speed underneath of Sproles, different motion snaps, and whatever system you play on. Enjoy. So guys, have a great holiday. ZFarls. Remember that you and me, we're changing Thanksgiving one piece of pie at a time.